Welcome back to Kat's Kitchen. My name is Kat, and today we're gonna make a homemade cherry syrup. I'm so excited to share this recipe with you. It is so easy, it tastes delicious, and you can make so many different drinks with it. I know Starbucks just launched their cherry syrup and cherry drinks, and so this syrup is perfect for that. And it's just perfect if you love cherry in your coffees, your lemonades, your teas, whatever. So let's dive into the ingredients and then the equipment that you'll need to make this recipe. You'll need 1 cup of cherries. I'm using frozen dark pitted cherries. You don't want the pit in these. If you're using fresh cherries, make sure you're removing the pit first and then adding them to your pot. You can do fresh or frozen. I like frozen because they're super duper easy and then you don't have to pit them yourselves. You can use fresh, totally fine. I'm doing 1 full cup of frozen cherries, 1 cup of granulated cane sugar, 1 cup of purified water. Don't use tap water. You want it to be purified because it will change the overall taste of your syrup. Then you need half a teaspoon of vanilla extract, just a teeny tiny amount to elevate this recipe. And it's not gonna taste like vanilla and be strong vanilla cherry vibes, just ever so slightly, just overall enhances and elevates this recipe. Then you need 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. This helps brighten the recipe, helps really bring out the sweetness and tartness of the cherries. And then you need half a teaspoon of flaky sea salt. Any salt will work. I like flaky sea salt. Just a little pinch of salt, similar to the lemon juice. It just brings out the natural sweetness of the cherries and gives the syrup an overall better flavor. I always add salt to my homemade syrups because it just takes the syrup to the next level. I don't see a lot of people use salt in the recipes, and I feel like it is just flat without the salt, elevated with the salt. Those are the ingredients you'll need. Again, very simple, 6 total ingredients. And then as far as equipment goes, you need a saucepan. 2-quart saucepan will be plenty big to fit all the ingredients and to account for some of the bubbling when we boil the recipe. Then you need a strainer. We're going to strain out the cherries out of the syrup once we're done cooking it. So you need a strainer to do that. You need a potato masher. We're gonna mash the cherries once they're in the liquid to just really release some of their flavor. I like having a spoon or a spatula on hand just to mix the mixture together and dissolve the sugar. And then the last thing you need is some sort of storing vessel. Could be a mason jar, could be a syrup bottle, whatever you like to store your syrups in. You want it to have a lid though. I don't have it on right now. You want it to have a lid, mason jar lid. That way you can cover it and store it in the fridge. But that's all you need to make the syrup. So let's dive right into the recipe. First thing, adding in our cherries into the saucepan, and then the granulated cane sugar, and adding in the salt. Again, just a little bit amount, half a teaspoon, and then 1 cup of water going in. Now, we don't want to add the lemon juice or the vanilla extract yet. That's going to go in at the very end. Then just stir to mix the sugar and water together so it's not like clumped up. And then we'll bring this over to the stove. All right, the mixture is on the stove, and just turn this as high as your burner can go and bring this to a roaring boil. It should take 2 to 5-ish minutes. All right, the mixture is bubbling quite a bit. This is what I would consider a roaring boil, lots and lots and lots of bubbles. So at this point, turn down the burner to a low simmer and very carefully and gently take your potato masher and just kind of mash the cherries a little bit. Okay, we're not trying to get too crazy, just gently mashing it so that the cherries release their flavor a little bit more into the syrup. And already you can see what a beautiful color the syrup has. Oh, gorgeous, gorgeous, girly. Once you gently mash, let this simmer for 10 minutes. Alexa, set a 10-minute timer.
10 minutes, starting now.
All right, the cherry syrup is done simmering. Next step is to strain the cherries out of the syrup so that we're just left with the liquid. So I have my strainer, I have my mason jar, and I'm just going to pour the cherry mixture. See, I got the bigger strainer so I wouldn't make a mess, and look at me here making a giant mess still. Katerina Vive. I guess my storing vessel needs to be bigger, huh? Katerina, look at all the beautiful cherries. Oh no. Physics, Cat. Use your brain, Cat. That's my bad. It's fine. It's fine. I'm just gonna pretend that didn't just happen. And we'll use the little baby strainer like always. Just gently straining this out as we're seeing just the murder scene going on. It's fabulous. I wanted to use the bigger strainer because You do want to squeeze out any of the extra syrup from these cherries. Squeeze out that liquid so you get as much syrup as possible. We're just ignoring the mess at this point, okay? Just pretend the mess is not there. I'm so excited for you to make this recipe though. Just don't make a mess like I did, okay? It'll be fine. I'm the queen of messes, yes indeed. She's the queen of messes, yes indeed. Good job, Cat. Good job, Cat. I'm gonna have to say goodbye to all that syrup. Bye-bye. And then you're just left with like this cherry, have I been saying strawberries? Squeeze out the cherries. These are cherries, Cat. And then you're left with this beautiful cherry compote, which you can save and then just add to yogurt or ice cream. It's delish. I'm gonna clean up this mess and then we'll be right back. I swear I'm a smart adult, I swear. I'm so mad at myself. All that syrup. What a waste, Cat. What a waste, 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 Cat. Good job, Cat. All right, we're all cleaned up. This recipe should yield about 11 to 12 ounces of syrup. Mine is more like 10 because I just spilt it all over. But this is our cherry syrup recipe right now. Absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. And then we still have our 2 ingredients to add in. Woo! Lemon juice, 1 tablespoon, and then half a teaspoon of vanilla extract, both just to further enhance the flavor of this delicious syrup and also brightens up the color just a teeny tiny bit. And you want to add the vanilla extract especially at the end so that way the flavor doesn't burn off and then you're just left like with an alcohol-y taste. You don't want that. Let's taste test our syrup. So lovely. Oh my gosh, it's so delicious. It is a perfect dark cherry flavor. Oh, baby. So good. With a little tiny hint of lemon juice to just kind of brighten and really bring out the sweetness of the cherries. And then the vanilla, again, just very slightly elevates the recipe. You're like, what else am I tasting? A cherry and tiny little bit of vanilla. Just let this mixture cool for an hour to 2 hours on the counter until it's no longer hot to the touch. Then add your lid and pop it in the fridge, and this will stay good for up to 3 weeks. Don't leave this on the counter. It's gonna go bad in like a day or 2. Definitely refrigerate it, but make sure it's cooled down before you add it to the fridge. Absolutely delish. You are going to love this recipe. Another sip, because it's that good. If you love a cherry mocha, a cherry latte, cherry chai, you have to try this recipe. It's so easy to make. Just use up some of the frozen cherries you might have hanging around in your freezer. I will be posting another recipe video of me using this syrup in other recipes, specifically the Starbucks cherry chai. That video will be coming soon, so stay posted for that. If you give this recipe a try, let me know what you think. Be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Mwah. God bless.